Good day dear chess lovers, Soren here, and in today's video I want to share with you a very sharp and interesting game played between Indian chess prodigy Rameshbabu Praggnanandhaa and the 15th world chess champion Viswanathan Anand. This game is from 2018 Tata Steel Chess India. This is Blitz section. We are in round 6 and Praggnanandhaa, who at the time of this game was 13 years old, opened up with e4. Anand's answer was c5. He goes for sharp Sicilian defense. A few more moves and the good old Najdorf variation appeared on the board. a3. Praggnanandhaa is choosing an offbeat line in order to deviate from the main theoretical battle, and a3 was met with g6 by Anand. He's setting up this so-called dragon formation. Najdorf and dragon, as you know, these two structures are not that compatible, but probably Anand knows better what's going on. Although soon time will show that yes, really, these two openings are not compatible, these two setups are not compatible, and very quickly White is managing to gain a prevailing position. Opposite side castlings are on the board. Yes, White boldly goes for castling queenside, and now Praggnanandhaa, after strengthening the pawn on e4, White is ready to throw all his anger at opponent's king. There it goes, the can opener is marching forward. Knight e5, bishop h6. h5 is better. If knight takes h5, then knight f5, but in our game we have bishop h6. An exchange of dark squared bishops on h6 followed, which allowed White to somehow make opponent's king side vulnerable. Rook c8, g4. Not the best move. In here, h5 can really allow White to win the game. Let's just finish the game and then I will turn on Stockfish and we'll go through the game while the beast is on. At the moment, let me tell you that Anand also felt that there was something wrong with his position, and here is what he said after the game. At some point I felt that he had outplayed me in the opening. The only thing I could hope for was the exchange sacrifice. I honestly don't know if it works or not. There it goes, g4 was met with rook takes c3, a standard sacrifice in dragon variation in Yugoslav dragon, and now by making White's queenside vulnerable, Black goes with his counterplay. Meanwhile, White knights land on f5 with a direct mating threat. In return, White is sacrificing his knight and manages to open up the g-file. Queen takes c3, rook g1 check, knight g6. A very entertaining battle. F takes g6, f takes g6, h5. This is already a mistake. Making h5 on move 21 turns out to be too late, and this is losing. Please pause the video and try to find the winning line for Black. Ready? Look, instead of thinking about defense, Anand proceeded with the attack and played bishop takes e4. In order not to allow bishop takes e4 at this point, it was very important to play bishop d3. But we have h4, and the bishop sacrifice on e4 allowed White to gain advantage. There came queen a1 check, king d2, knight takes e4 check. Black is a rook down, but who cares? White king is in danger. Queen c3 check, bishop d3. In case of king takes e4, you will get checkmated very quickly. Let's take a look at this possible line, how Black can announce a checkmate. Well, there's just no escape, that's clear. Black is announcing a checkmate. In the game we have bishop d3, White is managing to avoid an imminent checkmate, but is doing it at the cost of losing the queen on h6. King takes e4 and the queen on h6 dropped. Against the queen, White has a bishop and a rook, right? But that's not enough. Also taking into consideration that White has an exposed king in the center of the board, White's position is of course hopeless. This is hilarious, guys. Where is this White king going? We have a crazy king hunt. Where is the checkmate? Let's see. King takes e7, rook takes g6. Here Anand is missing forced mate in 3. Queen f7 is the move. If king d8, then rook c7 with mate to follow. Then with his next move, Black is already announcing a checkmate. In our game we have rook takes g6, but this is also winning, although is allowing white to prolong the resistance. Praggnanandhaa of course tried to create some problems for his opponent. We will now go quickly through the last stage of this game, but black's position stands super solid. At this point it's not clear why not rook takes a6. Maybe white was too worried about the future of this pawn, thought that it might become unstoppable, but anyways, white can't do anything. Black king stands super solid, and now cold-heartedly Anand will make use of his passed pawn, queen g4, king e7, and there it goes. The h pawn is marching forward, check, king d6, h3, rook e7 check, king f8. A few more moves were still made, and finally at this point, after h2, finally resignation followed. What I want to do right now is to go through the game while stockfish is on. Maybe we should proceed from this move on. Okay, you can see that already the engine gives white a huge advantage, and g4 actually spoils everything. Oh, the evaluation goes higher and higher, and stockfish suddenly figures out that the move is h5. Now if, for example, queen a5, then f4, and if rook takes c3, then h takes g6, and white is just winning. This is crazy, guys, that this early white can win. Now if d takes e5, then this is simple. Knight e6 is coming, and then rook d8 check, and you're losing your queen. And in case of rook takes a3, now there is a threat of rook a1 checkmate, then b takes a3, and here is how white can win. Oh, you have to be very careful with king d2. You can get checkmated, and then queen g3 checkmate. That's why just play king b1. Your king is in safety. You can cover it with your knight, and then you can proceed with the attack. Rook h3. Is this important? Seems like that, yeah. You have to strengthen your position further, and then king b2, and yeah. You managed to set up a super solid defense. You are a rook up and you are winning. Instead we have g4. An exchange on c3 followed. g4 is something with which white lost a precious tempo, and black managed to equalize. Knight sacrifice, how good it is. Not that good. King b2 is better, but we have knight f5 check, g takes f5. And now the engine prefers black's position. Ah, rook g1 is already a serious mistake, right? Well, better was rook g1 check. Oh, this is interesting. If knight g4, then king b1. Not sure why you should keep your rook on d1. Yeah, interesting. That rook dg1 is losing while rook hg1 is the move. King b1, rook c8, and now you can play queen c1. This is interesting, guys, very interesting. Maybe in some cases you need to strengthen your third rank with rook d3. In our game we have rook g1 check. We'll think over it, we'll try to figure out what's the difference. Or let us know, please. Many of you are really good in analysis. Let me know, please, what's the difference of rook hg1 and rook dg1. You are really good in solving puzzles. Okay, rook dg1 was made in the game, knight g6. And now it turns out that knight dg4 is the best defense, right? This is very interesting. If here, then check, and your central pawn is no longer protected. Knight g4 looks gorgeous, as well as knight fg4 is very strong, but we have mutual mistakes, and finally it was in here that h5 was the last mistake in this game, after which white's position went down. Better is bishop d3. h5 allowed bishop takes e4, after which, yeah, very accurately Anand finished up his opponent. Well, at some point he missed a forced mate in 3, but anyways, yeah, the rest in the last stage of the game he didn't give his opponent a single chance of surviving. So this is it, dear chess lovers. Hope that you enjoyed this mega exciting game. Feel free to share it with your friends as well. And in the end, a chess puzzle for you where the task is to announce mate in 6. There is a forced mate, and as usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. It's black to move, yes. Thanks for watching. As usual, we'll see you in my next video.